Welcome back to the Hangout Quest podcast, the first and only Genshin Impact podcast. I'm Alex. This is
and I'm Camry.
This is Camry. Yeah, heck yeah. That intro is from. Let me just cite my sources here real quick. That intro is from Some More News. I've been meaning to steal their intro for several weeks now. I just keep forgetting. So. I don't know.
I was going to say, that sounds so familiar, but I can't place it. But yes, you're right.
There's not that many. I'm sure that there's some Genshin podcasts out there. But I don't know them. Like I know that Sevi Plays had a podcast there for a while, but it's on hiatus right now. I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. It was a good podcast. I like that. But yeah, I don't really know any of the other like big creators that have a big podcast. We're definitely not the first and only, though. I'm sure that there's a podcast.
No, but
there.
We are the biggest.
That's right.
We get the most comments of all of the podcasts.
Yeah, dude. We love comments around here. Please save us. Give us some comments.
Please save us. Shout out to the sweet alien guy. The little picture's an alien.
Heck yeah, dude.
I don't know how to say the name, and I sort of I'm not 100% sure that it's appropriate if you pronounce it. So, cute, sweet little alien guy. We love you.
We do love the alien guy. Yeah, I learned from Some More News this week that today is Vodka Day. So we might be participating in that a little bit this evening.
Damn. Full disclosure, I'm celebrating by drinking wine.
I see.
I don't have any vodka in my house right now.
Yeah, we went and bought vodka after work. Hey,
Well, you didn't tell me it was vodka day until just like 10 minutes ago. So.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah. It's vodka day. We heckin' love vodka around here. So, I say that like as if I wasn't gonna go buy vodka tonight after work. But anyway, I love having a reason to celebrate. But I talked to the dude at my liquor store. I'm like, hey, did you know that it's vodka day? And he's like, no, I had no idea. I'm like, hey, dude, like you're a professional. You should know this. But anyway, he did not know.
The fake holidays, which are just like a product or service being straight up advertised on the calendar. Do you know that those days were like purchased? This was like a scam.
Really? No.
This was a scam in the past to name all of the national days. People like paid money to make it National Donut Day or National Vodka Day or whatever.
I can't believe you said donut. Like the first thing, the liquor store guy was like, yeah, dude, I don't know when it's Donut Day or whatever. Like people have to tell me. Like he literally said that. And it's like, yeah, Donut Day is.
Well, yeah,
is like
Donut Day is everyone's favorite. Because all of the donut places do Donut Day promotions.
Which is why I thought that the liquor store would do Vodka Day promotions. But hey, Anyway. We're here to talk about some Genshin Impact or something like that. First of all, I want to talk. Listen, I've been thinking about some other topics. So topic. I don't know. Maybe I've lost my opportunity, but some more news. We don't talk about politics on here at all, or like enough. I feel like
we don't. Well,
one of these days I'm going to start a movie review channel, and we're going to talk about politics on that channel. But
that sounds good. I will talk about politics with you somewhere else. I feel like this podcast is one of the places that I get to not think about politics.
All right. Yeah. My bad. We're Americans, so politics are
we're
like
Americans,
kind of a big deal right now.
It's hard.
Yeah. And we
but
just had a
like,
debate.
listen, get in the comments if you want to hear about our thoughts.
Yeah, my bad.
You're fine. This is just going to be my gimmick this week. It's just to tell everybody to get in the comments.
Perfect. Yeah. That way you're doing it. I'm not doing it. You know, like I'm not the one begging for comments. It's this other person.
It's me.
Yeah. So I want to talk about superpowers. That's what I want to talk about. I don't really know why I'm thinking about superpowers. I think it's because I was trying to make small talk with my coworkers the other week, and it's like, hey, this is one of those things. This is a great thing. This is a great small talk topic. What superpower would you have? Like what do you want?
Sure.
Because I feel like that is a good way to know someone. Like what's the
Yeah, it is a good way. I have 3 answers.
Okay.
Of varying seriousness.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go. Great. Wait, no. Which one do you want to talk about first?
So I'll tell you. I'll lay them out and we can dig into any of them. There is obviously shapeshifting, because who doesn't want to be able to just change their appearance like all the time? I feel like that would be fun and cool.
Okay.
But that's not that serious. That's just because I'm a queer person, and don't we all just want to like try stuff on?
No, as you say that, it makes so much sense. Like that actually is practically speaking. Never mind. Continue.
Well,
Continue.
my other 2 are also quite practical because I'm a very practical gal. I would either like the superpower of altering probability, so that I can make anything as likely as I want it to be to happen. Oh, because I feel like it's really OP, just like all the time.
Altering probability, like luck.
Yes.
There's a
like
Jujutsu
what's the
Kaisen
likelihood
character that you're like. I'm so sorry that you're.
That's okay.
You're relating
it's
yourself
not
to.
a new concept. There's an X-Men character also.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, practically speaking, what's the probability that I'm going to hit a green light? 100%. I'm going to hit all the green lights on my way home.
Okay.
What's the probability that I'm going to win the lottery? 100%. What's the probability that for some reason the cashier, thinks that my card got charged, but it didn't? What's what's the probability that I'm the 100th customer and I get free donuts today? My life would just be really good if all the bad things were 0% and all the good things were 100%.
That's an interesting outlook. I like this. Yeah, being lucky would for sure be a pretty good superpower.
Yeah, just being the most lucky.
Interesting.
What's the likelihood that I would run into a celebrity that I like at a coffee shop? In my city, 1%, maybe less.
Do you know?
But I could change that.
Never mind. Yeah. Nice. What's the third one? What's the third?
The third one is just like access to any knowledge that I want to know. Oh. If I want to know something, I can just know it.
Oh, okay.
Which would be dangerous for me, because absolute power corrupts absolutely, and I feel like it's dangerous to know all things all the time. But also, I would like the answer to several questions that I will never get the answer to without that.
Yeah, dude. One of the things I fantasize about, I think about all the time, is what if you could just literally tell, I'm at Target and the people who have played Genshin Impact glow to me. I can see the people who have played Genshin Impact. I think that would be amazing to be able to just
you
know.
You go into work and one of your coworkers is glowing so much. They're AR-60.
That would be so great, dude, to just know.
They should glow in accordance with their rank so you can tell if they quit early.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta know, how seriously do you play it, what's their highest crit value piece, and that's the glow factor. That would be so great. Okay.
I mean, if you're gonna have the power, it should just be auras, so that you can also tell what kind of Genshin player they are. A really bright blue aura, you're that's 100%er, and they've 100%ed everything.
That would be great. It would be fantastic to just know. Because then, if one of these days I would walk past somebody who's a shipping expert, that's walking down the street. It's I would never know, but I have to stop them now, and I have to talk to them. Oh, I see. Right. I see that you are a big Ning Wong Beidou shipper. I can tell by your aura.
I can see your aura, and I can tell that you're a god tier shipper.
Yeah,
what is your Genshin ship, please?
It'd be amazing, dude. That'd be so cool.
I can tell you make Miko fan art by looking at your aura.
That would be incredible. That'd be so perfect. That's, I don't know what superpower I was really thinking about talking about, but like, shooting laser beams out of my eyes or something, like, fuck that. Like, yeah, dude. Being able to tell what kind of gamer people are, that's great, I like those.
That is fun. I like that.
If it could extend past Genshin, that'd probably be the best. but
Sure.
I
Well,
need to
you know what? We could both have the superpower of knowing any piece of information you want to know. Because then you could look at someone and know if they're a gamer and what they play. You could know what their ships are, right?
True, yeah.
It's a form of mind reading in a way.
Yeah. I had a coworker whose answer was like, and it took a lot to not meme on this answer, but the idea was like to fill anything she wanted to. So it was like a bank account, fill it. An
empty jug of milk, fill it.
Exactly, stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I can't go over the other examples, except for the ones that are problematic. But that's I like that. I like that answer. I like the answer of filling a bank account. That's fun, But,
filling a bank account, fill that empty popcorn bucket, infinite water.
I think that like one of the gimmicks she brought up was like if a villain is monologuing to you, you just fill their bladder, and then like that's that, and it's like they're done. Like then they're done. They're embarrassed and they have to leave. Like like what's the there's no beating that power really. So I don't know. I like that. I like that answer. Yeah, being a millionaire would be really fun, or like just having unlimited money. Hey. But yeah, I don't know.
Having a lot of money kind of is a superpower.
True, yeah.
Like people get away with a lot, with a lot of money.
All right, so hold on. What are your three powers? What have we gone through?
So I picked shape-shifting, probability, and knowing anything I want to know.
Okay. Yeah. Probability. That's dope. I do like we could win like one pull 1 5-star on Genshin Impact. I mean, hey, easy. That's easy. That's actually that's basically infinite money. Like
yeah. Well, yeah. You walk into a casino. I forgot the word. A gambling house.
Yeah.
You pull the slot machine with the big jackpot, whatever. First pull, you win it, right?
Yeah, dude. I love this plan. This is great. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Except for I know that there's a Jujutsu Kaisen character who's lucky, and he's a villain, and I hate him. So it's like
I understand, but I have not been poisoned in this way.
Yeah, you haven't been poisoned. So. Yeah. That's great. Yeah, that's a good superpower. You're right. I like.
My inspiration is Domino from the X-Men universe.
Okay.
Same power. I think they're sort of a neutral actor. They're sort of an anti-hero. They do what they want to do.
Is Domino? I was literally about to talk about like there's an X-Men who, I was going to talk about. It starts with the Z. There is this ringleader woman in the DC universe who's like
Zatanna. Or
Zatara. She's so hot.
There's a Zatanna and a Zatara, and they're father and daughter, and I can never keep them straight. So DC heads, get in the comments.
Right. So I like the woman. I don't know about her dad, but the woman is hot.
I think it's Zatara actually.
Zatara.
But yes, she is so hot.
So hot.
One of my earliest crushes, actually, because we watched a lot of Justice League in my house.
I see. Yeah. I meant to bring up at the start of this that you're a DC person, like you're a superhero person, kind of involuntarily. So it's like you've got a lot of a lot of
Yeah,
a lot of knowledge on these superpowers. So like, what's the
yeah,
like,
sort of the only secular stuff we were allowed to watch was superhero stuff.
right? Tragically, that's so sad. But hey, I mean, hey, you get some early crushes, so there we go.
Yeah.
That's,
It is. It's not the worst thing in the world because women in superhero media are scantily clad and hot and powerful. And, I got no trouble with that.
Sure. Yeah. People, it's funny. Like I want to do this movie review channel at some point. And it is funny. Mm-hmm. One of the topics has to be like, people have to act surprised that all these artsy fartsy people are pretty progressive. Like as if people who draw comic books are all conservative.
Right.
I don't like,
no,
that's just not the way it
is. The comic book stories that I'm familiar with are almost all quite progressive for the time that they came out in. Mm-hmm, So that's, whatever.
Whatever, dude. I just, it's funny. Yeah. Anyway, amazing. Shape-shifting. What's her name? Mystique?
Mystique,
Jennifer Lawrence? Iconic? Okay.
Not
yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence. The Mystique
not
before
just...
that.
Is it
not just Jennifer Lawrence?
I wanted to say Halle Bailey, but that's Storm, I think. Who is the old? God,
Storm
is it
J-Lo? I don't think it's J-Lo.
Oh God!
I'm gonna use my internet powers. If I had the third superpower, I would know the answer. And in conversations with you, I would use that superpower a lot because I don't know any actors' names.
I know, and I'm sad about it. I'm like, I got to start this movie review channel, but you don't watch any movies, so there's this horrible.
Well, you're gonna just have to make me watch movies.
Yep.
For the sake of the channel, it is Rebecca Romijn.
I see. Well, she doesn't ring a bell, unfortunately.
No, I don't know if I've seen her in anything else.
Damn.
She's associated with John Stamos somehow because there's pictures of them together. That's as much as I'm gleaning from this right now.
Well, she was pretty hot, and the idea, of course,
was hot.
I think Jennifer Lawrence is pretty hot, but the idea here,
it's fine. It's just first Mystique.
Yeah.
Oof.
First Mystique, of course. But the idea, of course, the hottest thing here is we're talking about shape-shifting here, which has the most practicality out of all of this. Who needs a full bank account whenever you can have any body type you want? Like that's of course.
My argument for shape-shifting is that I could lead a full double life. I could keep my normal job. I can function regularly. I can be a slightly hotter version of myself, all the time. And then I could be just like a world-class level cosplayer because I can look exactly like anyone I want to look like. And then it would just be about learning to craft the outfits. And I think if I had the shape-shifting power to motivate me, I could learn to sew,
Right. Yeah. You would learn all about fabric types and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Over the course of a couple of years, I would be a seamstress half the time making money cosplaying, and then I would have a regular people day job. And if I ever wanted to not be recognized, I just wouldn't be because I wouldn't be recognizable.
Right, dude. That'd be so cool. That'd be so fun. Yeah, I think out of your three options, I think shape-shifting really is probably one of the best ones. Like I really like that.
Yeah. It's great. See your ex at the supermarket, duck into another aisle, and don't be you while you're there.
Boom.
Perfect. Easy. Right?
It's so easy. It's so practical. Like there's a lot of practical things you could do in real life to
if you could shapeshift like Mystique, who shapeshifts clothing as well.
Yeah.
You're totally unstoppable. Just 100% unstoppable.
Yeah, and I think Mystique is a good person. I like Mystique to base this off of. This is fun, Hey. Mystique is great. Mm-hmm. And by great, I mean hot. So, the next thing I want to talk about is jobs, occupation. Uh-huh. So, what did you want to be when you grew up? And we'll go from there. Yeah. What did you want to be whenever you grew up? Whenever you were a little baby Camry going around.
Okay. So I think it has been alluded to a time or two on this podcast, but I was raised in a cult. My dad was a pastor growing up in a really, I'm going to say the word regressive version of Pentecostal Baptist something, just like a twisty sort of Christianity that isn't nice, in my opinion. So the options presented to me as things I could be when I grew up were a stay-at-home mom or a teacher if I worked in the school that my kids went to. And I didn't want to be either of those things. So when people asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I would always say I wanted to be a dinosaur, because we also didn't believe in dinosaurs in my church.
Well, yeah, the Earth is 5,000 years old, so of course not. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I would say a dinosaur, and then people would laugh and leave me alone.
That's like not even a Pentecostal
It's like
belief.
There's Pentecostal-y things there, but there's a lot of, when I say a twisty version of Christianity, it's like it's adjacent. So like the Holy Rollers cult is probably one of the closer things, or the I don't remember the name of the cult. The Duggars cult is really close theologically. So it's, I would easily classify it as a cult. It never got big enough to actually be classified that way, but the beliefs were not healthy or helpful.
Sure, yeah. Well, dinosaur didn't quite work out, though. So,
dinosaur didn't work out. I'm not a dinosaur. I'm another thing that we didn't believe in, which is a psychologist.
No. Amazing. Yeah. That's great.
What did you want to be when you grew up? Because you were allowed to be things.
Yeah, I grew up similarly in a cult, but my parents, I don't know. I'm so privileged. I'm such a privileged person. My parents, I grew up in the Christianity cult, Baptist cult, but literally some of my backstory is like my dad was also a pastor, like you, except one of my villain arc stories is my dad was being pushed out of I was 12 years old, my formative years, peak formative years, my dad was being pushed out of a giant Baptist church that he was the pastor of, and they were like, this guy's too progressive, we can't have him here, and it was this huge church drama, which if you know anything about church drama, it's awful. Ugh. It's so terrible.
It's the worst. It's very personal.
It's so bad. And it's just funny. It's really funny how privileged I am to have a pastor dad who, as I grew up, he's like, dude, you got to figure out your own way. And I'm my answer to that was, dude, I'm not about this Christianity thing. And he's like, that's great, son. I need you to seriously go out and find your own path. I cannot believe it. Anyway. So when I was young, my passion was, I thought I was going to be a marine biologist when I grew up. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go swim in the ocean. I saw some documentaries. That's such a you thing
to want to be when you grow up.
Yeah, dude. I really thought that's what I was going to do. And I don't have the stomach for it or anything, dude. Marine biology freshman year. Or not marine biology, just biology freshman year. I can't. I don't like dead things. I don't like, I am a city slicker, as the kids say. I can't handle, I'm not much of an animal lover, if I'm being honest these days. It's they're gross, things are gross, and I am a germaphobe. So it's like, that's just how it is. And yeah, I remember, oh, yeah, I'm a germaphobe. That's what I am. And I just don't like dead animals and stuff. And marine biologists, it's not like they exclusively deal in dead animals. They deal in very pretty, very alive animals, which is what I was interested in. But they also deal in dead animals, so it's like...
Right. You know what? My Biology 101's teacher's unit on parasites turned me vegan for like a full semester after. It was so just awful.
Yeah, I believe it, dude.
It's awful.
Heck yeah, dude. I remember, so when I was a kid, I wanted to be a marine biologist. But there was a time in college so this is like, my birthday was recently. I am now 29, so this is like 5 years ago or something. I graduated 5 years ago. This was 7 years ago or something like that. I remember I had this like epiphany. When I started college, I was a computer scientist, and literally what happened was I had this like flash drive of all this like coding shit I was doing, and I was like almost failing anyway, and I lost my flash drive, and I literally thought to myself, I'm just not gonna do this anymore. Like, I'm gonna pivot. I can't be a computer scientist. It's too hard, and there's too much like... I didn't like it that much. Like, the thing about coding is you work for 20 hours and there's a period off somewhere, and it's like, however easy you think it is to find a period off somewhere, it's not that easy. It's much harder. So it's like, I don't know, like, I didn't like that. I didn't like being like the minutia, like being wrong in a minute way, being such a big deal. I didn't like that. Mm-hmm. And really, it just didn't work out. Eventually, what I really did in college was I turned into a philosophy major, and now I have a degree in philosophy, which is, it's a curse. But
when you start that movie channel.
Yep, it's gonna be great, dude. My critical thinking skill is 10 out of 10, of course. It really helps me digest shipping dynamics. But
yes. Well, listen, auteur filmmakers love to just like pretend they understand philosophy and then feel really smart about it. So
yeah, dude. Pretension.
It would be cool.
Pretension is a huge part of all art, if I'm being honest. Mm-hmm. So my aesthetics class is my favorite class I ever took, and I love aesthetics, and that's not even all art. Like art isn't always about looks. Anyway, in the middle of college, before I became a philosophy major, I decided that I was actually going to be a science major. Like, no, I'm actually going to double down on this, like, math and, like, I like sci-fi. So I'm going to go do, like, I'm going to, like, study the moon. I really like the moon. And it's like, I'm going to go, there's one of the specific college like halls, like where all the classes are held. I'm like, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna talk to one of those professors, and I'm just gonna ask, like, like what, I want to be like in the movies. I want to be a scientist. What does it take? Oh, so I have to increase my D- algebra 2. Like, okay. I can't. Anyway, so I'm failing. I wasn't that great at math. I feel like I could have been, like, now as a 29-year-old, of course, like, I feel like I could go to college and get A's in math, but I didn't want to do that whenever I was 20, so sure. I just didn't. We
shouldn't be asking people to choose what they want to do for the rest of their lives when they're, like, 18 and their brain's not done cooking yet.
Yeah, dude.
Probably would make more sense for, 25 on, for you to start caring about what you want to do forever, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's really tragic. I agree. I definitely feel like, if I went back to college today, it'd be such a different, like, it'd be a different thing. Of course, everyone feels that way. Every 29-year-old feels that way. So, that's, it sucks. But anyway, so I gave up on that. So I had like this brief moment in college where I'm like, I'm going to be a scientist. But then the next semester came along, and my my dean's like, "Hey, dude, you're like flunking. What are you gonna do?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna switch to philosophy. That's what I'll do." Philosophy was great, dude. I heckin' love philosophy.
And now you're a shipping expert.
That's right.
It's great.
Yeah, of course. I really we love that. I'm a shipping expert and an accountant.
Hey, you know what? That's great. What is philosophy if not organizing and thinking about the way that people interact with each other?
That's fucking right, dude.
That's exactly it. And you're doing both those things. You're using your degree. One of the things you're using your degree for is shipping, but I co-sign that. So
perfect. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, so what I don't know if I had a point to any of this yapping. That's just some backstory for you, dude. Like I'm a philosopher.
Just some yapping. We're getting personal today on this episode.
Yeah. Now everyone knows I've got a philosophy degree and you've got a psychology degree. So it's like
well, actually, I have two
degrees. Yep.
I have 2 master's degrees, yes.
2 master's degrees, perfect. Yeah,
I worked really hard for them, and I just have to specify that. I was at the doctor yesterday, and they asked for my highest level of education, and I said 2 master's degrees, and she had to like type a little note. And I was like, listen, you don't actually have to work any harder for that. I'm just not going to say master's degree because I worked really hard.
Hell yeah. I have to say I double majored. I've got an undergraduate degree that I double majored in because philosophy alone couldn't be a major. I had to double major at the school I went to. So I have a degree in philosophy and history. So it's like...
Well, there you go.
Yeah. It's basically the same thing. It just took me 4 less years than you. But, fuck it. I don't know. Did you go to school for 8 years or what? Like, I don't really know.
So, actually, I got my... Okay, I'm going to just sound like I'm bragging. I finished my undergraduate degree a semester early, and then I finished my 2 master's degrees across 3 years.
Okay. So, like, 7 years? 6 or 7? 6.5? Something like that, yeah. It took me 5 years to get an undergraduate degree, so fuck it, dude.
That's fine. It fully doesn't matter. It's just I'm finally getting to an age where I don't have my clients ask me, are you old enough to do this? Which is great.
That's great.
I hated having clients come in and be like, how old are you, actually?
Which, I mean... To be fair to them, I'm sure that a lot of them had life experiences that you could not comprehend, like literally. So that makes sense.
Which I understand. Yeah. But I will say, every client who started sessions with me asking how old I was, finished sessions with me by saying, I didn't think this would work given how young you were, but I'm glad I gave it a chance.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah.
Which, but now I don't get that. Now I get people who are teens will be like, okay, so let me explain Snapchat to you. And I'm like, no, you don't need to do that. I understand.
Hell yeah. I would need a teen to explain Snapchat to me. Snapchat, I do use Snapchat a little bit, but it's like I use it in the capacity that it was meant for, like 10 years ago. Like, I send someone a snap. And then it's over. Like, I don't know anything about all these, like, stories and shit, dude. Like, I swipe up on your story. What does that mean? I don't know, dude. Like, I was here at the beginning 3,000 years ago. Sorry, what?
I fully was doing a psychological evaluation, like, 2 weeks ago. And the kid looks at me and says, do you know what TikTok is?
Hell yeah, dude.
I was like, you know what? Yes, I do. You don't have to explain TikTok to me. And then I was like, I guess I'm past the age where people think I'm too young for this. Now they think I'm ancient, and that's great. I'll take it.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I don't get asked for my license when I buy liquor anymore. So Which is supposed to be in America. If you look older than 40, people don't ask you for your
Yeah, but also if you look like you're clearly older than 21, it's a hassle to ask people for their license.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I was a
not to
Walmart
hurt your ego, but you look older than 21.
Yeah, I know. I know. but yeah, it's. Oh God, I had a joke point after that, but anyway. My joke was I went to the license bureau and failed my driving test the other day. That was my joke.
Our poor guy.
I let my license expire. So now I have to retake the tests, and I failed the test because I was too defensive on all the questions. They're asking me these trick questions. Like what? Anyway, they're trick questions. The government's a scam. Taxation is theft. I'm an anarchist. That's what I meant to say. That's what this is. Driver's license are scams. I'm gonna have to take PTO. I'm gonna have to go do some shit next week. I'm so mad. I can't believe that the government did this to me. I can't believe they made me.
Oh no, I can't believe that the government has gotten in your way on something that you wanted to do, a tall white man.
Yeah, dude, this is unacceptable.
That's not what they're supposed to do.
I'm gonna have to start.
They're supposed to let you get by with whatever you want.
I can't believe this. Yeah, I'm so mad. I'm so sad about it, honestly. I cannot, it is honestly traumatizing. I cannot believe I let my license expire, and then I can't believe I went there and rushed through this test, and I couldn't do the driving test thing. And now I still have to do the driving test at some point. So I'm gonna have to have some dude sit in my car and watch me parallel park and make sure that I get
on his phone.
I'm so I can't believe it. But whatever, dude. I can parallel park, I promise. But anyway.
Can you? Because I
can.
I can't. I could get within the cones, but I'm always too far away from the curb. I don't feel comfy leaving my car out in everybody else's way.
Yeah, that's fair. Most people just park on the curb anyway, so.
Yeah. Well, we have a really small car now, so actually now I can do it because I can use the length of a regular car for my little compact car and get in pretty good. But I still hate doing it, and I will avoid it at all costs. I'll pay to park in a garage.
That's fair. I hate garages. But hey.
I don't mind parking garages. Well, and on the one downtown that I use here is free on the weekends, so I just end up parking there anyways because the meters aren't free on Saturdays.
Oh, the meters aren't? Interesting.
They're free on Sundays, but on Saturdays you have to pay the meter, but not the parking garage.
Interesting. That's pretty crazy. Mm-hmm. In Kansas City, all the meters are free on the weekends.
Mm-hmm. But which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. It is great. Hey.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, let's move on. Holy moly. Yeah, all right. Circling back. Actually, so there's superpowers, but then there's Genshin Impact superpowers. So which Genshin Impact character would you want to have their kit in real life? You're the only one, and it's just you get someone's kit. So if you're Zhang Ling, you have a Guoba, and you can summon a fire tornado at any time that you wanted to.
Okay, I wouldn't be allowed to do that because I am irresponsible. I like fire too much.
Well, I'm just saying, that's kind of the point. How practical would it be really to be able to summon a fire tornado? Because it's I don't actually really want to, rule the world or anything. And,
right.
I don't want to fight and kill people for the right to rule the world. So it's which Genshin Impact character's kit is practical in a way that you'd actually want to do it? Because Ganyu can shoot nukes out of a bow, but like, what's the, like, why would you want to do that?
Right,
So
you wouldn't
like,
want to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nahida can read people's minds.
She can. Yeah, absolutely.
She can make everybody around her feel good and safe with her, like, palace. It just buffs people around you and yourself, right? And she has a passive where no animals are afraid of her. She can, like, hang out with anybody. I feel like that has to be my answer, because everyone else's kit is really combat focused. And so if you never just, like, apply dendro to anybody, which I'm not sure in the real world what that would do.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Grass stains, like,
grass stains. I don't know. I think that might be the answer, unless you want to go like Kirara, but you're definitely going to get experimented on if you turn into a little cat bus and run around.
Yeah, there's always the risk of the government abducting you and doing experiments. That's,
Yeah, I feel like Nahida's kit is subtle enough that they wouldn't.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Because, like, the Wanderer can fly.
True.
But, and being able to shoot, like, laser beams out of your fists is pretty cool. Or whatever the fuck his things are that he shoots out of his fists, I don't know. Zhao can jump kind of high. That's fun.
Uh-huh. Zhao can jump kind of high. That is fun.
Yeah.
I think you also have to take the cursed demon aspect thing that he's got going on if you do that, though.
Yeah, maybe. So Dehya's got this passive where if she falls below 40% health, she, like, heals a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Does that work? Like, if you're about to die at, like, 99 years old,
right?
And it's like
or you get, like, hit by a car.
You're 44 HP. Do you just, like, heal up a bit? Like, how does this? Could you live for live forever with this? Like, what?
I don't know. Maybe
is cancer a damage over time, or like what's the like? Could I live through that basically
yes,
with
cancer
the Dehya
is
passive?
A damage over time.
I don't know. If I'm like 130 years old because I've got Dehya passive, and I'm just like begging for death. Anyway,
yeah, I gotta say, anything that makes you like semi-immortal actually is a curse. You don't actually want that, particularly in the year of nobody's Lord 2024. I don't think I want to live any longer than my natural lifespan if it could be helped. Things are bad already and they get worse every year.
Yeah, I'm more of an optimist than you though, so I don't know.
That's fair. That's fair. You're the most optimistic guy in our friend group. I'm the second most optimistic guy. It's quite a chasm.
And you don't want to live that long because the world sucks.
Don't.
Like
I max out at 100. I really don't want to get to 100.
We'll see. 50 years from now, you might feel differently.
I doubt it. I really, really doubt it.
I also really, really doubt it.
Listen, my 20s have been great, but I don't think that life stays this nice forever.
Nah.
I just really don't.
I am an optimist though. I think that like exactly 100 years from now is going to be a pretty dope time to be alive. So
I hope you make it there.
I do too. I'll never die.
You'll miss me every year.
Yeah, I'll miss you very much.
Every year I expect you to put flowers on my grave.
Yeah, I'll personally never die. So this is
okay, cool.
Like this is an interesting like topic because I will live to see the future for sure, but I don't know. I don't know if all my friends will.
That's fine. But, you can find the manifestation of my energy somewhere else and just hang out with it. Let me know how time has gone. Because matter can't be created or destroyed. I'm going to go somewhere. I just don't know where that's going to be.
Sure. Yeah. Hopefully on your Genshin account.
Yes, when I die, you already have my login. You can just take
I've
over
got
my
your
Genshin
login.
account.
Yeah, I have got your login. Oh boy. Yeah. I was just seeing what's next on the docket here, and the docket is ShipWrecks. So let's move into the ShipWrecks. Amazing title for this section, by the way. But
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know.
Full
Did
disclosure.
you do this? Did Reddit do this?
No, I stole the concept off of Reddit, and then ShipWrecks was what they were calling it in the comments, also on Reddit. I will take I'll take a little bit of credit because you just gave it to me. It's not really mine, but I enjoyed being thanked. So
yeah, thank you, Camry, for sure. Yeah. Listen,
you're welcome.
I mean, it's Reddit.
I had time on my lunch break to look at Reddit, and this is now what we have.
So everyone thank Camry for this topic.
The comments.
There's this Reddit topic, ShipWrecks, and it is ships, but not lovers or enemies to lovers. It is just enemies. So we are looking for
people who would fucking
enemies.
hate each other if they met.
Yeah, exactly. Which is dope because honestly, my brain, everyone kind of memes like all these shippers are ruining the game because everyone just wants to fuck everyone. And it's like, for me personally, that's not wrong. I want everyone to fuck everyone and love each. It is hey, that's just how it is. I like it when people like each other. That's just how that's how I operate out here. So,
right. But I like it too when characters have relationships. Like my first example of a shipwreck, we already get some interaction actually, and it's Diluc and Kaya. And there is clear information given to us that Diluc and Kaya hate each other. Yeah. And Kaya wants to steal Diluc's life. It's not subtle that this is practically told to us.
Practically, yeah.
Practically. I don't think it's actually told to us, but it's there.
It's there. That is definitely there. It's just that I'm a huge advocate that Kaya and Diluc are enemies to lovers. So that's
they're brothers.
Well, they're also brothers. Yeah, they're stepbros.
One of them's adopted. Yeah, I don't think enemies to lovers, personally. I think enemies to maybe friends again.
They're brothers just to lovers who pretend like they hate each other. That's my
Alex, no. You're going to the dark side. Incest is never okay. Never.
Hey, that's just that. I don't make the rule. Thank Dahway, dude. I don't know. It's not my fault. I
don't think Dahway wants Diluc and Kaya to date.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
I don't know. Dahway, who listens to our podcast, I keep insisting. Comment below. Okay, all right.
Some Dahway stuff, yeah, dude.
So, did you come up with the shipwreck? Because I have another one, but I don't want to steal your thunder.
No, I don't know. What I'm thinking about right now is I like to ship Kokomi and Kujo-Sara. But they probably should just hate each other. They did. They had that little in the Archon quest. They had that they had a little meeting. And they're and on the other side of the meeting, they're like, wow, we really respect each other. And that fuels all of the lovers haters to
enemies to lovers.
All the enemies to lovers, stuff out there with Kujo and Kokomi. But it's they probably should just hate each other. They did just literally just kill a lot of each other's friends, a bunch. So it's there probably is no
Kujo-Sara, because they were more directly pitted against each other. I feel like Kokomi never really saw the direct impact of any of it. It was all strategy to her. Kokomi bad guy.
She is quite privileged in that way. But yeah. Not Kokomi didn't put a lot of boots on the ground herself, but
well, I mean, most of the time she floats a little bit above the ground.
She does float.
Yes. She didn't put any of her sandals slightly above the ground.
I don't like to seriously accuse Kokomi of stolen valor because I feel like she feels the effect of the war. It's just that
she was an admiral. Yeah. She sat in her cushy chairs with her lemonade and told people what to do.
Yeah.
And while I want to respect Kokomi, it was all in intellectual exercise for her in a lot of ways, where like, I don't like Goro, but you know, boots on the ground, Goro was on the battlefield. Kujosara was on the battlefield. It is a little bit different.
It's a little bit different, yeah. I don't like to get too down in the weeds about it, you know, but that's, you're right. It's true. So yeah, maybe Goro and Goro and Kujo. So that's my thought. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, this is not my shipwreck, but do we apply the cats and dogs thing? Like, would Goro and Kirara hate each other?
I don't know. I don't know if Kirara
would Toma
and
and Lynette not be able to get along?
I think Lynette would be less likely to get along with Goro, for sure.
Okay, all right. Lynette, Goro.
The cats and dogs.
It is a bad pairing,
right.
And that is cats and dogs.
Yeah. I think that she would just kind of think he's stupid, like in the like that guy's stupid and I don't want to hang out with him like kind of way, you know. So, and she would, dude. She would, you know, like, you know, if he's got to talk to someone, he can talk to Lenny. You know, like I'm not gonna be around. Like, catch me outside. I could see
Lynette just fully turning around and walking away while he's talking to her. Just like no acknowledgement. Just
this conversation. I'm done with this.
I've had enough.
I'm leaving. Yeah, like
yeah, but without saying anything. Just like he's in the middle of the sentence, and she just turns around and walks off. Yeah, I could see
That's
that.
Such a cat thing to do. Oh my god.
And then Lenny would be like, I'm sorry. Please continue. I'm still listening.
Yeah.
I think that would be a real shipwreck, those two.
Yeah, okay, I don't think they would get along that much. Yeah,
I really don't. My real one is, this has come up before, actually, Barbara Alhaitham. I really think Alhaitham would want Barbara dead if they met each other.
Maybe. I don't know. He definitely wouldn't want to spend time with her. Like, he's not, you know, he's not artsy fartsy. He doesn't appreciate the arts.
No, and he isn't patient with people, and he's not soft with people. And I think he would make her cry, and she wouldn't like him, and she would annoy the shit out of Alhaitham, and he would hate her.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's probably true, because like she's just so expressive, and she gets very sad whenever people don't want her to be expressive. So it's like you know, like I think that you're right, that like he would bounce off of her, which would make her bounce off of him. Like she wouldn't you know, she wouldn't want to spend time with him because he doesn't want to spend time with her.
Right. She's naive, and he would point that out and be mean about it.
Yeah.
And he's mean, and she would not like that about him.
That's the thing about you know, like the naive young people. It's like, you know, like it takes a lot to upset a naive young person, and Alhaitham would just do that. Like
he would do it.
Yeah, that's tough, dude. That's real tough.
When I read that prompt, I was like, yeah, Alhaitham would absolutely hate Barbara, and I think she would hate him back because of his hatred of her.
Yeah. That's tragic. I'm thinking, like, would Jean hate Arlecchino? Because, like, the like, over Klee, you know? Like, because Klee, if Arlecchino knew about Jean and knew about Klee, she would want Klee. You know, this is the logic we've decided to follow here. And it's like...
I think they could be on opposite sides of the issue, but I think that they would both respect each other. I think Jean would look at a powerful woman doing the things that are right for her and leading an organization and go, yeah, like, same, I recognize what you're doing. You cannot have Klee, and I will kill you over this. But, like, not because I hate you, but because I love Klee.
Game recognizing game is what you're on about here.
Yeah, I think that they're two very different versions of the same character.
I wish Jean were as cool as Arlecchino. That would be very
I said
cool.
very different. I was trying to be nice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah. That's like that's one of the problems is like Arlecchino. Arlecchino's pretty OP. I think it's pretty much established that like Arlecchino's like she's like the strongest character in the game other than Nouvelette. And it's like, what do you do about that? Like what can anyone do about that? I don't know,
Right. I do think that Arlecchino would respect Jean, seeing her doing what she's doing and recognizing the way that even though she doesn't adopt all of the lost children in Mondstadt, she does parent them, kind of use them. It puts them in her organization to keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
It's just in a much more nurturing way.
Yeah, she's so nurturing. She's such a Cancer.
Hey.
It's funny because I know 2 Cancers, and both of them are like not nurturing people.
Hey,
you're a pretty nurturing
I'm
person.
a Cancer, but stop it.
Okay. I thought that you
I feel like I'm a nurturing person. Rude.
You are. Okay. So the other Cancer I know, I'm conflating you guys because I know another Cancer, and they're always like, I am not a nurturing person at all. And I thought that you also kind of identified as a person who's not very nurturing.
No, I'm not a kid person.
Yeah.
But I am a nurturing person.
Okay, I was going to say, okay. This, because I would argue.
I feel like there's a distinction.
You're a therapist. Like, I feel like that's pretty fucking nurturing. I was going to call you out for it. But, like, okay. Never mind. Okay. I was conflating
No, I'm calling you out.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not a kid person, but I like to nurture people whose brains are done cooking who need a little, positive reparenting.
Right. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Okay. For everyone confused, star sign Cancers are nurturing. That's one of their dynamics. But anyway,
sorry, go ahead.
What the hell? What was I yapping about? Oh god.
I don't know. You just went, I know 2 Cancers, and then you started taking shots at me. So.
Oh god. Oh no.
I'm kidding. Were you going to say that
talking about?
Arlecchino and Jean both read as Cancers? They're just very different.
Maybe that might have been what I was.
Because I would agree with that analysis.
Yeah. It is interesting. Like Arlecchino is very she wants to be nurturing. I feel like she fails at it a little bit. Like she is too traumatized of a person to be a good role model for anybody. But, life is complicated. So Lenny doesn't have any other options other than Arlecchino, and she's not the worst thing ever, So it's like, and Lenny's going to be a better role model for the next generation. So it's like,
I think she nurtures in the way that she can, but it's not. Yeah.
It's super toxic and bad,
it looks different.
Honestly. Yeah. Ideal situation, she is far from. But her kids are probably going to be okay, So it's like, that's just. And actually, they're not okay. They're already murderers. So it's like,
okay.
it's not. But they're not okay. But that's
against the standard by which she was nurtured. She's very nurturing, and I think that's her whole goal. It's not to be actually nurturing. It's to be much more nurturing than she has experienced.
Yeah. And I think that's also Lenny's goal, is to be more nurturing than he experienced. And I think that'll be the next generation of House of the Hearth people will probably also be. They will probably see Lenny as a tyrant. And that's funny, because Lenny is not a tyrant compared
and he wouldn't be.
Yeah. But that's just kind of, that's how it goes. That's how generations work, I guess. So that's...
Yeah, it is. It kind of is. Cool. I think that's all the shipwrecks I currently can identify.
So
if you want,
I'm thinking about Wanderer and Mona, who all the ships are about. They are, very aggressive toward each other about their love in all of the Mona Wanderer ships. I haven't seen that that event.
I haven't seen that event. I really can't speak to where that ship bait comes from. I don't think they would absolutely hate each other, Wanderer in his current iteration, but I do think Scaramouche and Mona would not get along.
Yeah, it's definitely and the ship kind of, I mean, it started, the ship obviously started with Scaramouche and Mona, because that was back before Wanderer was the Wanderer. He was still the balladeer. Yeah, it's interesting because there was a lot of they hated each other, but also
like kind of in a hot way, from what I can tell.
In a very hot way is what the internet has me believe, and I do believe it.
That toxic couple who gets off on fighting kind of way.
Yeah. Which like I was telling you before we started, like it's going to be hard for me not to turn all of these into enemies to lovers. So it's like hey, enemies to lovers is just such a endearing thing. So I don't know, it's tough. Trying to think of like who else like wouldn't like each other, because there's not the. I mean, Arlecchino and Farina, but But
you would argue all the time that actually it's just a big misunderstanding, and they would like each other a lot if Farina would give a chance.
That is what I would argue.
I've heard exactly that argument from you on and off mic more than once.
Yeah, dude, I have to justify it that way. Arla Farina is like the way it operates is Arlecchino being apologetic. So like no, like really apologetic, all the time and continuously. So it's like that's the way it operates. So like they don't hate each other at all. They could like each other a lot, like a lot, Anyway, because Arlecchino heckin' loves Fontaine, and it's like Farida does a lot to save Fontaine, thus the swooning. But yeah, she just didn't know it in the story quest. But now she knows, so now she simps. The way it works is Arlecchino has to be a simp for Farina. It can't be, pretty much anything else. It has to be Arlecchino being really apologetic. What's like Risley and Nouvelette?
No, they're in love. They're gay and in love. Well, Grizzly's in love with Nouvelette, and Nouvelette is not capable of human love.
Right.
That's where I'm at with that ship.
And I think you're kind of right. I'm kind of just thinking like, because like Nouvelette is like all justice and law and shit, and Grizzly is, an edgy, lawless heathen. So it's like, I kind of want to see it as like enemies, but they're not really enemies. They just kind of.
Unfortunately, they're just like lawful good and chaotic good. I really think if Nouvelette was like, "Can you not bend the rules a little?" Risley would be like, "Yeah, okay, I'll start following the rules."
Yeah, I would argue that Risley isn't good at all, but yeah,
I would agree, but that's not what Genshin wants you to think. I think he's chaotic evil, but that's just me.
I'd say he's like neutral, or maybe even lawful neutral, because like he doesn't actually like chaos. He benefits from and perpetuates a rule of law that benefits himself. Like he likes the law that lets him be in charge. So it's like he's kind of lawful neutral, if not lawful evil. Depending
if it's
on
self-serving, then it's lawful evil. It doesn't have to be like big evil. Yeah, you're right. Can lawful good and lawful evil be in a ship together? Yeah, probably.
Absolutely. It's just that they're usually in a lover or enemies to lovers situation.
Yeah, in this scenario, they're in one-sided lovers to maybe eventually a real relationship.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Nouvelette could come around on things.
It's just going to take him another 1,000 years, I think, to understand human emotions.
Yeah, maybe. It's been, I mean, he's been here for 500 years about now, and he's kind of like, he likes melazines now, so, you know, maybe he'll start to like humans.
And he sort of respects Farina a little.
Yeah, a little.
A little.
Not enough to tell her that to her face, but, you know.
No, whatever, she's a human now, so she'll be dead before he actually gets the emotional intelligence to do that. Sorry. Okay, no. Well, listen, I've broken your heart. Do you want to move on to the ship of the week?
I do want to move on.
Which is meant to make your heart fluffy.
All right, so what did we just say? Fuzzy. My fuzzy, you know, the thing that's going to make me feel good this week. So we didn't get to this last week, my birthday week. But this week, we are going to talk about my favorite character, Dehya, for the ship of the week. And Dehya is
the ship of the week.
You know, you have told me you don't think that this is going to be that expansive of a thing. My argument is Dehya is actually, it would be quite expansive because I think that Dehya is, in fact, the harem archon and could be shipped with almost everyone. My point is, she is shippable with almost anyone because she is emotionally available in a way that's like, if she liked somebody, I think that she could seduce just about anyone.
Okay,
and that's just
we're not shipping other people with Dehya. We're finding Dehya's best ships, right?
Of course.
It's
sure.
not about who Dehya fits well with, because that's everyone. It's the same situation as Nilu. It's about who deserves Dehya and who's genuinely, from Dehya's side of things, the best match.
I see what you're saying. I don't know, and I'm not really here to argue that Dehya is like this poly queen that like wants like like actually wants a harem, but she's not too far off of that. I mean, she does have.
She's already not that far off of it. She has Dooney and she has Candace for sure.
Yeah, Dooney and Candace for sure, and then it's like she's got the like she had this like all woman like mercenary group that she doesn't want to hang out with, or like she wanted to integrate with her mercenary group, but all the guys were too disgusting, so all the girls left, like kind of like situation. I don't really know. I don't even know the I know that that's a plot point that Genshin wanted to like throw in there, but it kind of didn't stick, so they dropped it. So it's like it's kind of only in her story quest that she had like a bunch of other female mercenaries that hung out with her, but then stopped. So it's like
fully just because Genshin said, you've given us Dehya, which means that there are female mercenaries. Where are the rest? And then they said, oh, they're in one line in Dehya's story quest where she talks about how she used to run with all the women, but now they avoid her because the guys that she runs with are also like kind of sex pests.
Yeah,
which is also honestly bad look for Dehya for picking the sex pests over the girls.
Yeah, she can overlook a lot, it seems like, which is, you know, just because you can fight off a sex pest, Dehya, doesn't mean, you know, the rest of the
doesn't mean that the other people want to put
to.
themselves in that situation. Yeah,
and they don't. They left. You know, that's the point. So it's like that's really upsetting, but. You're right. Actually, I don't like thinking about this. I don't like the, Anyway, Dehya, the harem archon, she's got Dooney, which I think is probably the best ship.
That's my favorite ship. I like Dooney.
She is amazing. Dooney, I don't know, man. I was talking to someone we know recently about how like yeah, they were kind of Dooney deniers. Like,
wait, we know somebody who's a Dooney denier?
We do. And
I know who. It's the person that likes Natlan more than Fontaine, right?
Yep. And they were talking about how like Dooney's just Dehya's boss, and you know, like I don't know, man. It's just so It's so obviously wrong.
It's obviously wrong. But that person has always had bad Genshin takes. I'm just going to...
Well, they like
always
Ayaka,
have.
so I can't
Yes,
quite,
but-
agree. But yeah, you're right.
They're sort of an anti-shipper, and I'm sorry. Please continue.
Absolutely. They're an anti-shipper, and I think that most anti-shippers, like Dehya and Dooney, I mean, it's like Alhaitham and Kaveh, which they also don't agree with. So it's like this like super obvious, like they're just roommates situation. Like they're just employee and employer that go on vacations together into the
and
wild.
buy
like
joint birthday presents for people.
Well, yeah, of course, because all employees and employers do that. So that's that's just the average employee-employer relationship, is that they go on vacations together and I don't know, man. So anyway, obviously Dooney is Dehya's girlfriend 100%.
Yes.
And
100%.
they just need some socially acceptable, thing, because I don't know, is Nahida a conservative? I don't, like what's going on here? Like what's going on here? Like what's the government? What's being said about Nahida? I don't know.
I don't think Nahida is conservative, but we definitely know that the academia people who want to shut down the theater are quite conservative. And up until the point we're currently at in the story, they've been in charge.
That's true. Yeah. So who knows? Like culturally
so fucking
speaking,
Alhaitham. Alhaitham doesn't want them to be together.
Obviously, they're hiding their relationship due to cultural specifics, which is interesting
also,
because
Denirazad's parents have hired Dehya, and so this might be a little bit of sort of an illicit, inappropriate relationship that they have in that regard. It doesn't mean I support it any less, but...
Right, yeah. Like, bosses sometimes fall in love with employees. That does happen sometimes. But anyway. The, yeah. Dooney and Dehya are obviously incredible. They care about each other so much. Dehya cares about Dooney so much more than she pays her to, like that's just
yes.
so obvious. She's got Elazar, and Dehya is really, really invested in finding the cure to Elazar, which
really
is
invested.
awesome.
And also, to my earlier point, Denirazad's parents pay Dehya, so she should have, upon finding Denirazad not in the house, returned her immediately, but doesn't because she cares about what Dooney wants. More than she's paid to do. Like, she's literally paid to disregard Dooney's feelings and take her back home.
But that's not what she does.
That's not at all what she does. It's not. Actions, she doesn't even consider doing it.
Yeah, you're right. Like, she cares about it so much, she doesn't consider it at all. She's like, we're just gonna do what Dooney wants to do. Dooney and Dehya are kind of my favorite. They've got an amazing dynamic. Dehya being the more, and this is what I'm kind of talking about, where like Dehya can fill a lot of positions here, and obviously Dooney is a pillow princess and a half. Like she needs a manly man around, and Dehya can just do that for her, and it's like, and that's what she wants. That's what she wants to do, and that's great. And then we've got Candace, of course, who wants something slightly different. And I think Dehya can fill that role as well. Like, Candace does not need a manly man around to protect her or anything. And I think Dehya is absolutely fine with that. Like, she's fine with, like, okay, I'm just going to support Candace and what she has to do. And that's that. Like, that's it, period. And she's here to support Candace. And I love that. I love Candace and Dehya. They don't get a ton of screen time together, but all the screen time they do get together is them opting into, they don't have to, they opt into spending time with each other. Candace is like, geez, we couldn't afford Dehya, for a long time here, but she still shows up to help us out. So it's like, like what does that mean? Oh, well, it means Dehya wants
she
Candace
still comes around. Yeah.
in the harem. So that's just that's what hey,
Yeah. No, the reason I said that this wouldn't take terribly long is because I don't have any other ship that's anywhere near as good as either Dooney or Candace. I will plant my flag on Dehya Dooney are married and in love, and Candace is their polyamorous third partner.
Which is probably pretty accurate, because it's like Candace has a lot of stuff herself to do. Like, she's got to be at Aru Village,
busy,
protecting Aru Village. But every once in a while, she wants to come. Yeah.
Very occasionally, Daenerys actually gets to be a pillow princess and a half when they're both in town. But most of the time, it's her and Dehya, and then Dehya and Candace.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you laid the trap. I
did. That was great. These are the dynamics I'm after here. This is. You're totally right. It's just, I think that Candace seeks Dooney out whenever she needs it, whenever she wants to. And Dehya is there for her. She's like, yeah, I'm here for you whenever you need me. And it's like, I think that's great, dude. I think they've got an amazing relationship, and they go fashion shopping together sometimes. Like, they do like each other, and that's great. Candace's voice actress, I remember I watched, like, they do those Among Us.
Yes.
Sessions.
The Among Us.
Yeah.
With Sino, with Sino's voice actor.
Sino. Yep, Sino orchestrates these events where all the Genshin VAs
play
do Among Us together.
And it's very fun.
Candace's voice actress always names herself Dehya's girlfriend, which is, it makes me love Candace in a way that, like, it makes me a Candace fan that, in a way that is transcendent, I simp for simps, and Candace simps for Dehya, and that's just how it is. I heckin' love it.
Yeah, so I guess my challenge is there any other Genshin character that you would see shipping with Dehya that could be a better match than either Dooney or Candace? Anybody that can compete? Because we're not talking about people to join the harem. That could be anybody. We already know that. Dehya is down, and it's fine. But anybody who would better match.
I don't know, better match. I don't know if there's anyone who's better than Dooney. Okay, so Dooney and Dehya are obviously in love.
There's clearly not.
they're poly in a way that's like they're the ones for each other, and they let other people kind of that's
right.
fine.
They're really secure in that, so they're open
each
to being
other's
open.
number one, and that's how it is. But if Dooney wasn't in the picture or something, then maybe so Dehya, of course, like you said, she's kind of like Nilou in that she's kind of a perfect partner for almost anyone. But that's kind of my point. So of course, one of the other people I like to think about is Farina, and Dehya would obviously be emotionally supportive of Farina. Like, Farina comes to Dehya with a problem, Dehya's gonna hear her out and validate all of her opinion, or like all of her feelings, and be tough enough and like tell her, like, you don't need this. You don't need these other people's validation. You're strong enough yourself, queen. Like, she would say that to Farina. Like, she would listen. She's a good listener and feeling validator, which is why I feel like she could handle Farina in a ship. And
right, it's important that people are emotionally intelligent enough to sit with and help Farina if she's going to be in a ship with them, because she just needs the support right now.
She needs the support, and then once she's been supported, she's which is weird. I feel like Farina is a weird character in Genshin, where like a lot of her character, it's like they have a lot of support for her character, in the past and present, where like it's like they want to talk about how Farina used to be very insecure, and simultaneously she's got a lot of voice lines and stuff like right now, kind of presently, where it's more that Farina is more self-actualized and she's come to terms with who she is. And it's weird because I feel like Dehya could step in as a partner, be a person that supports her past and present, you know, like she can help, and you know, pillow princess wise, like Farina
is the most pillow princess of them all,
and Dehya would absolutely accommodate. Like she's here to serve. Anyway, so my point is, you know, I think that like Dehya could be everything Farina wants. And I think that Farina would want Dehya. Like, I think that, you know, they meet at a coffee shop, you know, she'd like what Dehya had to say, pretty much. You know, like, Dia's a nice person. She's got a big heart, too. You know, Farina also has a big heart. So it's like, you know,
and
I think
Dehya
that
is comfortable with, like, thinking ill of the dead, or like not having to forgive people because they sacrifice themselves, which I feel like is something that everyone pushes Farina to forgive Focalors, to be comfortable with that history where she was like used.
Interesting point.
I am on board with this because I do think Dehya would be like, no, fuck Focalors. That was uncool of her to put you through that. And it's not okay that you had to. I'm sorry for that. Instead of like, well, but it was so noble. And, you know, Focalors should get all the credit for this.
I can't believe you've brought this up to me. I'm going to be obsessing over this fact, like, forever. Like, I'm going to be thinking about this. You have no idea. Like, I am going to be thinking about this so much, dude. That's such a
broke
good.
Your brain.
You did, dude. Like, yeah, Dehya. Hey, you know, hey, if anyone doesn't know, Dehya was traumatized by her dad, and she did not forgive him in the end. Like, the end of her, spoiler alert for Dehya's story quest. Like, she didn't forgive her dad in the end. She's like, no, my dad hurt me too much. I don't forgive him now. I'll think about it. Like, you know, I don't need to come to a conclusion right now. He's dead. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm going to think about this for a while. And in the meantime, I don't forgive him by default. Like, you know, like that's not how it is. It is so crazy to think that like she would support Farina, and like Farina's like, you know, she probably is already, like you're saying, kind of like Farina probably never saw herself having any other option other than forgiving Focalors, because Focalors was sorry for what she did to Farina. So Farina would just forgive her because Farina has too big of a heart.
Was she? She was like, she wasn't that sorry.
She wasn't that sorry. She's like sorry, like a politician.
She wasn't remorseful.
She's a politician's apology type of type of person, you know, like, hey, sorry, dumb, rip bozo is how she feels toward Farina. Like, Focalors didn't care that much. Focalors is happy. I remember, like, last podcast, we, like, went off on on Deluxe's, like, fake hatred toward Jean. I want to acknowledge that Focalors does not hate Farina. She actually, you know, like, explicitly likes Farina.
But she loves Farina as a part of herself. I don't think Focalors ever saw Farina as Farina. I think she saw Farina as, like, part of an extension of herself in a way that Farina didn't get to feel. Yeah. Of course.
Or
like an abusive parent figure.
So just the point is, I think that Farina wouldn't see herself as having very many options other than to forgive Focalors, and Dehya absolutely 100% would be the type of person that's like, what did that bitch do to you? Like, no. Let's back up a second. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to forgive her. talk to me about your feelings, and we'll get through this. You know, like yeah.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right, or I think we're 100% right there.
Yeah,
I think
look
they're a
what
good
we
pairing.
did.
I really like this pairing.
So, Dehya and Farina is my favorite, like, non-canon ship. I don't think Dehya and Farina have spoken a word to each other, you know, in canon.
Not
But,
yet.
Not yet.
Maybe soon.
But to your point, you know, what I was going to argue is, like, give me a Genshin character, and I'll tell you, Dehya could be in a relationship with them. Like, if she wanted to. You know, like, if Dehya liked somebody, she is so...
Yeah, she would make it work. She would.
She could make it work. And it's like, she could make anything work, but that's her power of being so hot and emotionally intelligent. She's not, and another thing she is not that intelligent. Like, she's not book smarty, but she could be a perfect partner for almost anybody, and she wouldn't want to be though. Like, you know, the point of shipping is, put her with someone
Right.
she
A healthy
would want
relationship.
to be with.
Yeah.
Just because she could be my perfect partner doesn't mean I'm good enough for Dehya. So, you know, that's just how it is. Yeah. Have you visited Genshin Romance r/Genshin Romance?
On occasion, I'll admit to not having spent much time there.
I see. That's fair. I'm just wondering because Dehya Al-Haytham pops up a lot.
No, I think that's 100% wrong. I don't think that.
Yeah.
I think she could make it work with anybody. I don't think she would make it work with Al-Haytham because she cares too much about people and he doesn't. I think she would really dislike him.
She's met Kaveh. As soon as she spoke to Kaveh seriously, like 1v1 or one-on-one,
1v1 conversation.
she would then hate Al-Haytham because Kaveh can't talk about anything other than Al-Haytham. So it would be brought up, and Dehya would tell him like, wait, what did he do with your house keys? yeah. Wait, you need to leave him and go live with Nilou for a while. Obviously,
Dooney has so many spare rooms. She's rich. I can put you up somewhere. Yeah, I think that's a really bad ship. Honestly, I really don't think that Dehya would get along with Al-Haytham because everything he values is the opposite of the things she values. She doesn't value the academic education. She doesn't like the academia themselves. She doesn't step on other people to advance. She believes that everyone has a lot of potential and should be allowed to live up to it. And I just think that's all ideologically opposed to Al-Haytham.
You're right. But had you considered he's got abs, Camry? I don't know if you were thinking about that, but
final thoughts.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Al-Haytham anymore.
Oh, God. I wanted to talk about Nilou and Dehya, you know? Because Nilou could be a harem Archon if she wanted to be, you know? But
yeah, who says she's not?
She's not, though. Yeah, that's the, you know, I don't know. She doesn't seem that way to me.
No, I
don't really know what I mean by that. So it's like, you know.
Well, like, Dehya puts the moves on, and Nilou is too focused on whatever her goal is at the moment. You know?
Yeah.
Dehya's
so Dehya
out here
would just
flirting.
have to find a way to make it to where Dehya was Nilou's focus at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I think they would be fine together, but I do think from our strategic standpoint, it's a little bit of a waste because they're both a universal shipping mate. And if we pair them together, then we're out our answer of someone who's like supportive and kind and will listen. And
that's true. It's just that I do also like that, like, hey, if they're meant to be together, then that's just how it is, you know? I think Dehya can appreciate the arts. And I think Nilou would appreciate Dia's commitment to her martial arts. So I don't know, hey, I don't know. They're both hot. What you know? What,
They're both hot. They're both calm. They're both in charge of their own lives. Like, I see it.
Yeah.
I think as far as new shipping options that you've presented to me, Farina is, I think, as good as it's going to get.
I see. Thank you. I agree. I'm glad that we came to this conclusion. I didn't have very many other shipping thoughts, if I'm being honest. Because
I know you wanted to talk about Dehya because she's your favorite and it's your birthday times, but I'm surprised I found somebody outside of Daenerys that I can get on board with, honestly. Are you ready for final thought?
So, as far as ShipWrecks go, is there anyone Dehya doesn't like? Like, who would she clash heads with so
I'll hate
much
them.
she wouldn't? You think so?
Yeah.
Just
I really think
they
philosophically.
disagree.
Listen, I'm going to shipwreck Alhaitham with everybody. Unfortunately, I just really don't.
But what
like
about
him.
the Luke? They probably love each other.
Do you know what I think would end up being difficult is Fremine, because I think Dehya would intimidate him and he'd go all quiet, and I think that would make her like kind of anxious and want to talk to him more.
And she wouldn't. She would just walk away probably eventually.
She would try a few more times and then she would leave and be like, "All right, he's fine, but this isn't going to happen."
I can't get him to talk to me. Yeah. Yeah, that is upsetting because Dehya's an intimidating lady. That's, and Firmine has no defense against that sort of thing. So he can't talk to Clorand, who saved his life. So it's like, Yeah,
Dehya is
Clorand,
like 10 degrees more intimidating than Clorand.
It's Clorand with like 80% more skin showing is basically just kind of like and Clorand is very courteous. Like even if you talk to her, Clorand is more nice.
Dehya's quite casual in a way that I feel like Fremine wouldn't understand how to interact with.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe they would clash a little bit.
I don't think in like a full shipwreck way, but I do think in a this isn't a good friend pairing.
Maybe, yeah, because there's totally a world where there's situations where the extrovert finds the introvert, decides they like them, and then the introvert is the extrovert's person. So it's like it just kind of depends on the situation that they're in, because she could just decide that Fremine is precious and that he is hers to protect. So it's like that could happen too. But it would depend on what's going on.
It would depend. There's a lot of factors there.
Yeah. Yeah, if she just decided that Fremine was hers, then it doesn't matter that Fremine can't talk to her.
But then she would clash with Lynette.
Yeah,
she would clash with Lynette, who actually is Fremine's person.
I heckin' love some of the we have some screenshots of Lynette standing in front of Fremine and idols and stuff, and I heckin' love big sis Lynette. That is my favorite thing, because it's she's such a little sister to Lenny. So it's really interesting to have her be big sis Lynette to Fremine. I don't know who's the oldest of all three of them potentially. I don't know. But anyway, I think that all that counts as my final thoughts. My final thoughts are, I think that Dehya could be shipped with anyone. We just have some personality clashes potentially that could come in here, but I think that under the right circumstances, it could be anyone. That's the
Yeah, no, I agree.
Kind of my
I agree.
Yeah, perfect. Well,
let me think. My final thoughts are: get in the comments, give a like, give a subscribe.
Okay.
I feel like I had other final thoughts, but I've just been thinking about Dehya. And that kind of wipes everything else out of my brain.
Oh, yeah. So there's this guy in the Archon quest that I just remembered. The guy he sells like scented, is it candles or something? He sells or candy. I think he sells candy and he's giving it to the kids and he's using his his social status as like a pillar of the community to get with Dooney.
Oh yeah,
How do you feel about this guy?
Yeah. So he's like the king of candy for the Subaru's festival. Mm-hmm. The Nikita's birthday festival. Yeah, and he did have a crush on Dooney. I just felt bad for him because like she's taken. I never for a second considered him viable. Poor guy. I just feel like that was censorship straight up, where they were like, Dehya and Dooney are too gay, and we really need like a male love interest for Daenerys so that people will be diverted. And you know, they're just employer people maybe bought that. Maybe they like that guy. But screw that, you know? Dooney and Daenerys are obviously married. Or I'm sorry, Dehya and Daenerys are obviously married.
Yeah. I agree. I'm just thinking about that guy now. Like the poor guy.
Poor Sap.
I don't think he's shown up. You know, I don't think he's shown up in anything since
I kind of think he showed up in Nilu's story quest and is now after Nilu. But also she's too good for him. I don't know.
Yeah. Unlucky, dude. You know. I'm sure that he's nice, you know, like if he went after...
He's nice, you know, but these are playable characters or the wives of playable characters.
Yeah.
It's just not going to
happen.
He's
nice enough, like he could get someone. It's just that if you only simp after the two 11 out of 10s in the city, then, you know, like the competition's going to be stiff,
It's going to be stiff, and it's going to go to a playable character, especially if Dehya is around.
That's just how it is.
Sorry.
The poor guy. He set his sights too high. You're a candy salesman, which is respectable, but like, you know, that's just, hey, you know.
I think he works. I think he works for the theater. I think it was part of the festival. I don't know that he's normally a candy salesman, but I don't know how true that is because he's kind of a nobody, respectfully.
I don't remember his name. I just know he was simping after Dehya, or he was simping after Dooney. And I was ready for him to go the fuck away because I needed Dooney and Dehya to start doing their thing.
Right.
Which they do.
And it's beautiful, and we love it.
We love it.
I've had a great time this week, but I don't have any more thoughts on any of our topics.
I think I'm done. I think if you're an American, go check out some more news. It is
a great resource. If you wonder, we don't speak politically. If you wonder where we line up, it's pretty much sums it up. Go check out some more news.
I don't know if there's much wondering going around.
No, I don't think so, but
I don't know if they have an outro. I can't think of an outro to steal. So good night, babies. We'll just use our own outro.
Yeah, we have one of those. Good night, babies.
We've got that. Yeah. Good night, babies.